Life ain't easy, but we make it easier, hopefully. Hey, Positives, we're back. Season 1, Health Over Wealth. Living Life Without Strife. Episode 4, Mindset in Stride, How Running Helps You Thrive. Here with aspiring sports nutritionist, dietitian, former 3-time cross-country and track MVP, and former editor-in-chief of the school newspaper.
Hi, I'm Karenna Keene.
And we're here to talk about everything about running, how you fuel yourself running, the mindset that you build along with running, the mental persistence. So let's just get started. Can you share with us a little bit about your background and your story, how you came to be a star high school runner?
Okay, so basically I didn't run at all. I played basketball, but I didn't run, and I made fun of people that ran, kind of. I would sit there and be like, why on earth did you do track? That sounds awful. You're an idiot. I didn't get it. And then COVID hit, school stopped, everything stopped, and I needed something to do. So I started I was like, oh, I'll just go for a run. I've always been I thrive on a routine and stuff. So I was like, okay, so I'll wake up, I'll go for a run. And I would run maybe a mile. I'd probably walk a lot of it. That was I started doing that. I started doing it every day. Basically, I'd go out and I would run. And then eventually I sort of realized I could run further than a mile. I went to this one run with my aunt. We ran 3 miles. And I was like, whoa, this can be more than a 10-minute activity.
More than just staying in shape during COVID.
Yeah, I can actually improve. It doesn't have to stay the same necessarily. And so I started running more and more, and I started running pretty far distances, and I still didn't really know anything about running as a sport or how you should actually do it safely. All I knew was it was fun. I liked it. It made me feel really good, and it was cool to run far distances. So I would just run a lot. So I kept running as COVID continued. And then eventually I did spring track my sophomore year and totally loved it, but also still had no idea what I was doing, just kind of showed up and ran. I didn't have spikes or anything like that, but we ended up, the 4x8 team made it to states, which was super cool, and I was on the team. And so
your first year
my
doing
first
track.
year doing track, yeah, we made it, and it was this whole thing. I literally had no idea what these meets even were, but we districts, regionals, and we qualified based on place. And before I know it, we're going to Newport News, Virginia, with people I'd met a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, but it was so much fun. I immediately clicked with them too, and the coaches too were just so supportive and so nice. And I said, I'd played basketball before, and the people were super nice. The coaches were not nice. So I came into track, and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's so nice here. And a bunch of my friends did it too, and then I made friends. I was like, wow, I just love this. So I stuck with it, kept running, and then did all 3 seasons, my junior and senior year. I was injured for one of them, but still kept up with the team and the whole thing.
Did pretty well considering you got 3 MVPs.
Yeah, so then I was MVP by cross country for my junior year, and then again senior year, and then for indoor track my junior year as well, which was pretty cool.
How was the post recovery from your injury? Of course, we could talk about more later. Did you do well this season for track?
I guess it started last year. I was sort of injured. I had these injuries in spring track. I had Achilles tendonitis, and then this weird stress reaction that never really got diagnosed, but I was sort of just off and on running, and so that was really frustrating. But I finally felt better from those for cross country, but was still just sort of in a build up. But then until the very end of cross country, I ran a half marathon and PR'd for the first time in a really long time. So I was so happy. I was so motivated going into indoor track. I was feeling really good. And then I fractured my hip.
Did you fall on it?
No, it was called an avulsion fracture. And so basically they told me that what happened was that I just took a step and literally pulled it out of it's where it was supposed to be. I don't know. They said a lot of people were on crutches, can't walk. I ran on this thing for multiple weeks.
Wow.
And which honestly didn't help me, because then it was diagnosed. And
so you pushed through all that pain, but then it was bad long term?
It would have been anyways. I just didn't get a diagnosis. I was going to PT, and she kept telling me it was a muscle thing. So I took a week off, and then she was like, oh, you can run now, and it'll just go away. And it didn't go away. So I finally got an x-ray, and they're yeah, no. I was cross training, so I was in the pool. I was on the bike for so many hours, so much time.
Biking outside or indoor bike?
Indoor it was at the gym. I would bike, stationary bike. I'd do bike workouts. And then I was doing like aqua jogging workouts too a lot of the time.
And so that's like easier on your limbs.
So yeah, it's like supposed to be like the closest thing to running because you're doing the same form, but you're literally in the pool. It's like you're treading water, but you're like running in place in the like deep end. You've probably seen like senior citizens do it, to be honest. Like I became friends with them. Like I was like there
nice
with them.
chats while you were running.
No, literally, and finally they're like, so who are you? Why are you here? And I was like, oh, like intern runner. And my coach was like really good through that too. Like he gave me a whole like spreadsheet with like the different workouts and stuff like that I followed. But yeah, so that was my indoor season this year. Like that was the whole indoor season. And then I was back like just starting running again just before spring track started, and honestly that season was amazing. I couldn't have asked really for a better season. Like the comeback was so fun to be like back with the team, and like I feel like I was like super appreciating it, and I still do, but like
yeah,
I was
like your last season, last hurrah.
Exactly. And like just the fact that I could even run, and then I ended up I PR'd in every track event. When these were PRs from
just distance, I assume, not.
Oh, true. Every track event I actually run. So 800, 16, and 32. These were PRs. It was like meant a lot. These were PRs from back before I'd even had those injuries in like spring track of junior year, and so that was just really cool. Like I feel like I'm a lot healthier now.
Like the injury didn't stop you.
The injury, I was able to come back from the injuries. I just have like better habits now and stuff like that. Like mindset is a lot better, and it was just cool to see that it all paid off. Like it was like something I'd definitely been working towards for a very long time. And so obviously I still want to be faster, and I think I can be. Like I did end my season feeling like, oh my gosh, I did not run nearly as fast as I could have. Yeah, but it was still super cool to just see that I was able to be faster and come back from those injuries and like everything that I've sort of been through. And so that was really cool. And then even the 4x8 team made it back to states too, which was awesome. And we even qualified for New Balance Nationals.
Ooh, the backpacks.
Yeah, we got our backpacks. So that was so cool. And that ended up being the day after graduation. So that was just a really cool way to end, I guess, my like high school running career. Say that I went to nationals and like run at Franklin Field. Like that was so cool.
That is really cool.
Long
Did you get
answer,
like graduation pictures and running with your gown? Or like
I actually I did like a senior photos, and I did do some of me like running in my like chicken legs running shorts.
Maybe sponsored in the future.
Yeah, that was my Instagram post. I did my graduation photos in like the same post as like photos from like nationals.
I mean that's like straight out of a movie. You're star basketball player.
Oh god.
So many other things going on. COVID gets you into running. You become a star runner, get hurt, still come back.
I mean,
mix some running in the water with seniors in there.
Stay healthy, stay not injured. I'm really hoping for that. But yeah, no, it was really cool. I'm really grateful for that for sure.
Yeah.
And just like the whole like team too, like being back with the team has been so great, and such something that I look forward to it like every single day. Like after school we'd have practice, and that would be like I'd look forward to it all day.
Yeah, as someone who's on the team, indoor track, kind of you were her, but cross country, great athlete, always winning the races, and good captain. Yeah, so obviously not every athlete takes nutrition seriously. I know a lot of kids and my friends who very athletic people train very hard and they work on getting their protein in, but other parts of nutrition like vegetables and complex carbs, they're not so focused on. But you said you want to be, I don't want to missay it, so I'll let you say it. But
no, yeah, I want to be a registered sports dietitian. I ate well before I started running, but didn't really think about it. And then I started running, and I feel like sort of when you start doing maybe any sport, but like I feel like running in particular because you're just using your body like so much, like how you feel, you start to notice it so much. And so I don't know,
more
it's
grounded,
like,
more connected.
I guess so. And so I just started like naturally, I guess, just like having more like smoothies and like things like that. But I was totally uneducated and totally doing it wrong because I ended up cutting out way too much. I was eating not nearly enough. It was like very bad for me. It got very bad. And so then actually learning the importance of having like plenty of like carbs and proteins and healthy fats and like that type of stuff was like a huge game changer, like very necessary. And then it just becomes something I'm so passionate about. So I would love to share that with other people. I think it's important for like everyone, you want to eat enough, you want to eat all foods, but especially with athletes, I think it's so cool how eating enough, most importantly, and then secondly, eating like this quote unquote right types of, exactly, the nourishing foods allow you to like maximize your performance so much. And it's so cool how you just like see these things. It's like, there's like just the scientific evidence between eating certain foods and eating like certain types of foods like to promote like recovery. Like you see the stuff about eating like tart cherry juice or like beets to like promote
I've never heard that.
Have you never heard that? It promotes your recovery. It decreases inflammation, and so if you eat it, you're supposed to eat them like
I've heard that they like
after a workout, and they
anti-inflammatories.
Just like, they're anti-inflammatories and they help you like basically recover apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really important subject, especially in America with a lot of toxic diet culture and situations where kids are looking at social media and seeing edited photos or fake photos.
Exactly.
And just realizing, like, you got to fuel your body. Obviously, some foods might nourish your body more, but eating something is better than nothing.
Exactly.
And, like, looking at someone and saying, oh, they're so skinny, that's how I want to be. But, like, athletes need to fuel their body. You can't say that not feeding and fueling your body is healthy. You need food.
Exactly.
Just like episode 2, no food, no fun. And I think it's really important you say that, like, if you can be in extremely good shape, you know, obviously I think we should kind of move away in our society. Not that it's going to happen anytime soon, sadly, from, like, this is, like, okay, this is one body that everyone should have. Everyone has different bodies. Everyone has different situations. But I think it's important to be educated about this stuff and fuel your body. And so that I'm really glad you said that, especially as a very talented athlete. You know, a lot of people say, oh, if I eat too much carbs, you know, I'll get fat, I won't be a good athlete, but that's literally what fuels your body. So when I hear stuff like that, I honestly go crazy.
But it's just like when you walking around, you just hear so much like stuff, and it's like, you have to just like figure out how to block it out, and it's honestly so hard. But
like the haters or
just
misinformation.
Just this misinformation from people, and like, you have no credential. You are just saying this offhand, like, just stop.
Would you say that things kind of changed for you with running, nutrition, and COVID, or is that, since that was the start of your journey, there wasn't like a big change there?
Like changed my...
Well, I know for me, like, when COVID hit, I took the opportunity. I was like, okay, if I only have 2 hours of school every day, like, I'm going to get outside and I'm not, like...
Oh, for sure.
I didn't even know what I was doing. I bought, like, a box jump and I was doing the same thing every day, kind of like you were. Yeah. But, like, I know that, like, I started, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't just have sugary things all the time. Like, did COVID kind of being in your house thinking about stuff, like you said, you got more grounded to your body when you ran, did that change things for you?
No, of course. And it was definitely, like, first of all, having the time to, like, think about what I was going to do to entertain myself. I was able to run. And I also had more time, too, to be able to, like, cook my own meals and cook myself, like, good meals. You know what I mean? I have so many memories, like, I would be in class, but, like, downstairs, like, Mickey whipping up some, like, stir fry. Like, my lunch game was, like, on point. And
you were eating deluxe meals every day.
Had these, like, these, like, beautiful little smoothie bowls. And so then I got, like, definitely more into making prettier meals, I guess. Honestly, cooking makes me so happy. I think it's so much fun.
I agree.
And so I just love trying to make meals that are, for, like, obviously delicious, but also then you realize, like, there's so many opportunities to add in, like, fun vegetables and make sure you've got all your food groups, and, like, then you feel so good afterwards too. Yeah. It's such a fun thing.
It makes you feel good. I think it's so cool. Like, whenever I make food, like, I love making food. I'm still learning how to flip, like, a stir fry, not just use a spatula, like, actually flip a pan, because that's, like, hard on my wrist. But, like, I like, whenever I cut something up, it's just so satisfying and wholesome to me. Exactly. I don't know why.
Exactly.
But I love it. And I think, like, one thing is, like, I will say, like, for me in my fitness journey, you know, everyone has their own thing. I'm definitely still learning, because I see a lot of misinformation, and I don't really know how to process it.
Me too. I'm also still learning. Sorry, keep going.
Well, you seem a lot more knowledge. You talked about there's misinformation on social media, and, you know, you had your own awesome fitness journey, but how did you start to decide to share your journey on social media?
Because this was also during COVID, or, like, since I started running, I started then, like, following other accounts for sure that was, like, it's very similar, like, running, food-related accounts, and it was, like, just people, honestly, that do what I try and do, but just, like, talking about their own running stories and, like, sort of inspiring others to live, like, you know, to do their sport and run and do it in a, like, healthy way. And then also sharing, like, fun recipes that were, like, super good, but also happened to be, like, healthier and more, like, more nutrient dense, I guess, than maybe other recipes. And so I was like, that seems so fun. I want to do that. So I did. That was my inspiration. I don't know. It's not very big, but I wanted to be bigger because I think it's actually fun. So I'm trying to just like be consistent with it. It's fun. And I like, also they're like really nice people that do the same thing. And I've like sort of like connected with a couple of them and they're like so sweet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are so similar to me, which is really cool. Like there are people that like also love to run and love to cook. And I'm like, hey, same. And it's kind of cool that you find out. I feel like runners, it's so funny, like end up being very similar. Yeah. Sometimes it's like a little scary, but it's funny.
I think I see a lot of like fitness trends. It's like you start trying to get into shape or care a little bit more about your health. You go to the gym. It's like you spend more time cooking on nutrition than you actually do working out sometimes, which is kind of funny. And I will say your account's awesome. You should give a shout out.
Yeah, follow. It's at Runs and Funs and Yums. So it's like RUNZ and FUNZ and then YUMZ.
That's awesome. I have an account too. Pretty much the same story. There's so much going on social media. There's so many bad people and misinformation, but we need local, encouraging, yum food and fun runs. So
Exactly.
I think that's really awesome. Do you have any advice or any key habits you have when it comes to staying healthy, like key principles or habits you believe are essential?
I'm going to say, honestly, lots of things, but like eat before you run. That's a big one. And just like having like a snack before your run or your practice or whatever, I think is really important. I'm a big fan of a crunchy peanut butter Cliff Bar. But yeah, I think it's like, it depends on like, obviously like people say that they can't tolerate food right before they run, but you can actually like train your stomach. So just like start introducing like a little bit of food and more and more. Then you'll be able to tolerate more and more. But so like honestly, like I can eat a Cliff Bar like and then like immediately go running. But like if you want to start, even if you start like 30 minutes to like 45 minutes beforehand, just like having something in your stomach is going to make your running so much better. Like if you're hungry, you're not going to perform. Like if you are literally running on empty, like your car doesn't run on empty, why would you?
That is an awesome metaphor.
Yeah. So
don't run your body on fumes.
Exactly. So that's something I guess like that I started doing that now I just like kind of do. Like I really try and prioritize, make sure I'm on top of. Yeah. Like stretching. Another thing is like strength training, which is not always is enjoyable for people, but it does help you. It's supposed to really be good about not helping you stay uninjured. So I've been trying to prioritize that too, and it can be fun, you know. Actually, I like it, but I really like not being injured too. Also, you do have to recover too, so it can be really hard, but like taking days off and not running 7 days a week, because you're not going to actually improve if you aren't taking some time off.
Your muscles don't just get bigger. They gotta break down and rebuild bigger. Yeah, I think that's really important. And so I think one thing that is often overlooked, or people just assume, oh, if they're a good athlete, they take all these easy classes. But you know, I go to your school. I was aware you took some hard IB AP classes. Like high school can be hard to balance academics, sports, social life, and to kind of just have COVID cut through that, and you know, still be affected a little by COVID. Like I know that for me, socially, it was hard, just cut off and then thrown right back into it. So there's just so much going on there. How did you balance all of that?
I think, honestly, playing a sport, like, it kind of helps you in a way. I always say, like, yeah, like, I did take, like, all, like, IB classes and stuff for the most part.
Were you full IB?
I was full IB, so I took, like, a lot of IB classes. But it honestly helped that I had running. So basically, I'd go to school. I had an AM class, so I'd get there at 7:30 in the morning, and then I wouldn't get home. Usually get home around like 6 o'clock, right? So I'm like not home from like 7 a.m. to like 6 p.m.
Wow.
And then, you know, I need to like have dinner, like wind down, whatever, like, you know.
But you have time for homework.
So there's not like a lot of free time in there, but honestly it's really helpful because then it meant that anytime I had like downtime at school, I was like, great, I will use this 20 minutes and I will get this worksheet done or whatever, you know. And maybe sometimes that worksheet, if at home, if I had 4 hours to myself, I could honestly make that same worksheet take 4 hours, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just prolong
when other people
something.
are there.
You just like prolong something, and you're like, well, I have the time, so I'm gonna like use my prettiest handwriting and dot my I's with little hearts. Like, no, we're just gonna get it done, and it's a completion grade anyways. And so, like, just stuff like that that just like figuring out how to be efficient honestly really helped me because I wasn't miserable spending 18 hours a day on homework, like, because I just couldn't. I guess that's my biggest advice, is just finding like the time, even if maybe you wouldn't think that it's enough time, just try, or like force yourself to, or at least use that time so then you have less to do later, is kind of the idea, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think I really like how you said that you'll take longer if you have more time, or kind of, you said that in a complicated way.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, well, I think that's a really cool way to look at it. Like, I know for our school system, like 89.5, even though those worksheets you talked about were completion, 89.5 is the same as an 100.
Exactly.
There's no A plus, A minus. So, like, learning how to do the bare minimum that looks like the maximum. Not the bare minimum to pass a class, bare minimum just to get that A. I think that's interesting life skill, because like you're saying, I'm still learning, but I don't have to get perfect, neat handwriting on everything.
It's also like, I mean, pick your battles. Like sometimes, yes, this does require a maximum effort and a little bit more time, but a lot of the time it really doesn't. Like, there's just like certain things are more important than others, and figuring out how to notice those things.
I guess for the most part, you would be pretty busy on weekdays with homework, school, and track. But how did you fit in social life and like staying happy, good mental health on the weekends or when you had free time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, prioritize it though. Like, really make sure that you are like texting your friends, like making plans like ahead of time, and even like blocking out times and being like I know my friend group, we were all like really busy, but seeing like, okay, like when's a time that we're all free, and seeing if that works. And also just, again, like thinking like, can we just like do something really quick if just a couple of us are around, but like even if like my friends and I, even if we just have like a little bit of time, we'll just like go like drive around, and at least we'll get to like catch up and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just take what you have.
But it's like super important too, like being social, whether that's with your friends or just taking time for yourself or doing things that just make you happy.
I'll ask one more question, kind of a loaded question, and you've answered it in parts, but a lot of people struggle with motivation, consistency, mindset, not only in running, because it's like you are, for example, for cross country, you're taking a bus somewhere to run circles and then come back. But it can kind of seem weird. I know that I love it, and there's so many awesome ways to look at it. But what do you apply to be motivated or consistent, not just with running, but with a healthy lifestyle?
I would say just doing things you genuinely enjoy. That keeps me motivated, personally. And if that's not running for you, like finding something else that makes you happy. And I do feel like if you enjoy it, you will be consistent with it, or you will be, you will do it the amount that you should, at least. You know what I mean? And same with like, I guess if you want to like eat more like nourishing meals and stuff, like make it something you actually enjoy. So if you really like, don't force yourself to eat some type of vegetable you don't like, but like there are tons of vegetables, so find a vegetable you do like.
So many fish in the sea. Obviously you could say it's like, oh, you have to do both. But I feel like some people, like if you wanted to start on a fitness journey, you could say, okay, I'm going to start adding one vegetable to every meal each week and just
exactly. That's what I was going to say. So I would say add, don't take away is a big thing. And honestly,
I like that.
With anything. So if you're thinking about a food, don't say, like, why would you tell yourself I can't have something I like? Like, don't do that. Be like, okay, I'm going to have this thing that I like, and I'm also going to have this in addition to it, because I want to have some protein or, whatever it is. And then I feel like you'll genuinely start enjoying those things too. Like, and then maybe you'll just want those things instead or not. And that's also okay. And same with running or any habit like that. Like say, I'm going to do everything I do in a day, but I have these 10 minutes here. So I'm going to add in a little jog. And then maybe you're going to start wanting to replace the time that you spend scrolling on your phone with a longer jog or something like that. It just sort of builds on each other, I would say. Like habits just build.
Yeah, and I know I said that was the last question, but I kind of add one more thing. As someone with aspirations or potential, like you might go for it, obviously a very fast runner, to become a college runner, what are some of the unique challenges, opportunities, or things that go along with pursuing an athletic career?
I mean, it's definitely something I would love to do. It's not something that I currently am, but I'm hoping to. We'll see with time and everything that has to sort of fall into place with that. But it would be super cool. I would love that. I guess just honestly, I'd still go back to genuinely enjoying it. Like, I just don't know why you would make yourself keep doing something you don't enjoy. Like, life is too short. And so I love running. I feel like I have more that I can give to the sport. I feel like I have more that I want to achieve in the sport. And so that's sort of why I want to go for it. Like, I don't feel like I'm done running at all. And I don't feel like I'm done competing, I guess, because you can run your whole life. I don't feel like I'm done competing. I don't feel like I'm done running on the track or through the woods, I guess, with cross country. So that's why I'm still training to hopefully be walk-on, but again, that's like up in the air, so definitely not guaranteed.
I think you got it. Everyone support Corinna. Send that telepathic support.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Future D1 runner. Thank you so much, Corinna, for coming today to Living Life Without Strife 101. You hit everything, very similar to me, in just like a more mature, experienced, and in so many ways of fitness. And you just made so many good points. I think what we need to try and be is someone like you, very well balanced. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I can't read your mind, but everyone has their struggles, but I think it's awesome how you've done so many cool things and did it well, balancing social and school, and are just an amazing athlete, very inspiring. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
I mean, I heard there was rumors you're going to start your own podcast. I'd definitely listen.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned. It's for sure a goal. I would love to.
Yeah. Talking about like motivation or fitness routines,
Exactly.
Whatever it is. But, as we always do, we do sponsorships. So though our podcast still does not yet have sponsorships, we like to highlight organizations or things or activities we want to support and encourage doing. So I'm going to let Corinna take this one.
Okay. All right. Are you ready? Okay. So before I run, first, number one, I would recommend drinking lots of water. I always carry around my water bottle. Staying hydrated is super important. And to go with it though, you need to keep your electrolytes up. And so I always have, before I run or before I do, if I'm doing a cross train workout, I'll have this too. A scoop of my BCAA Extend Blue Raspberry Ice electrolyte drink, and it's a little
very specific.
That's my favorite. But any electrolytes, honestly, are going to be really good for you and help you just with a lot of things. And salt is actually very important, especially if you're sweating and an athlete, and especially in the summer. So don't let people tell you otherwise. Yeah, get your electrolytes in. Number two, okay, after I run, or if I'm at practice and I'm walking home and I'm not gonna go home and I'm not gonna go have a meal immediately, you gotta get your post-workout protein. So I really like the Fuel for Fire. Have you had these? They're these little smoothie pouches. They're portable smoothies. They've got 10 grams of protein, and they're really, really good. They're natural, whatever. They're very good for you, but they taste really good. They've got a lot of protein, and I really like the sweet potato apple flavor, and there's a banana cocoa flavor that's actually insane.
Wow.
And strawberry banana. And yeah, I think those are my top flavors, but those are really good. And also just generally getting any type of protein in or whatever. Protein and carbs too. That's why it's a fruit smoothie. So you got your carbs there too.
Is there any running brands I don't know, you talked about chicken legs.
Chicken legs are my favorite shorts. I wear these. I honestly try and wear them for basically every run, especially in my workouts though, because I feel they just make a workout so much more fun. If I'm on the track, at least I love track workouts, but at least I'm in my chicken legs too, so it's keeps the vibe fun,
Yeah, they're fun. They have pockets. They're lightweight.
I love them. I have ones with flamingos and ones with roosters. I really want the peanut butter and jelly ones though, because I love peanut butter. That should be another thing I'd highlight. Any type of peanut butter. Well, all natural peanut butter actually. That's my favorite thing. Recently I've started having salted peanut butter though. Again, got to keep those electrolytes up, and honestly, it's just the best thing ever. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I think the sponsorships are just some awesome brands or ideas of eating healthy, living life healthily without strife, thriving, vibing. So thank you so much, Corinna, for coming, and good luck in college and life. Keep up what you're doing.
Thank you so much. This was fun.